Hey guys, welcome back to Tech Insights with Dylan White. It's Monday. It's also day 4 of our 100-day journey, posting every day and just being consistent. So if you're here with me, riding with me, thank you. Welcome back to the channel. And once again, this is just going to be an intro video before we start diving into the real juicy content. In today's journey, we're going to talk a little bit about my 4th stage of the journey, which is all about mental health. Big mental health advocate. And so I'm super excited to share this piece with you guys. Again, as it's doing with mental health, there will be some trigger warnings as we're going to talk about some deep personal things for me, but also personal things for everybody else as we go through them together in the world. So I'm super excited. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So for those of you that are sticking with me, the reason why I'm so big on mental health is I was diagnosed with a mental health disorder roughly 10 years ago now. It changed my life. I got out of the military due to it. I've had a whole bunch of different life courses through it. I've fought it. I've accepted it. And just for me, learning how mental health affects people in different ways, it also helped me embrace the challenges, the things that might have went through my head when I was a teenager, but also the way I just deal with life, and that this affects each of us just differently. Was really important to me. Even the sweatshirt I have on right now is from a really cool program called Dopamineland. It's all about getting your dopamine spiked in your brain. A lot of us don't realize that we don't have the, let's call it the peak dopamine levels, but for less than 8% of our daily life. And just understanding how you can bring more dopamine, because dopamine is what controls your excitement, your happiness, just your joy levels. So for me, learning more about that, and this was just some place that my wife was like, hey, we're already in the city. We were on a work trip to DC. We're already in the city. Our kids are with us. Like, let's just go get the kids to do something for the day. And it turned out to be probably one of the coolest days that I've had in 2024. It was just a really fun, just the unplugged time. And when I'm as plugged into work as I am usually every day, being unplugged with my wife, my family, and just being in a place where your dopamine is just peaked for that reason was really cool. Obviously, they got me with the hoodie purchase, but just the whole thought of Dopamineland, I'll put the link in here for you guys, but it's just very cool, right? It had different areas for you to express and get that dopamine out of you. So that was awesome. But I really want to talk to you guys just about how mental health affects people throughout the country, because I don't think we talk about it enough. So through my platform and through talking to you guys and talking on LinkedIn, that will be a piece of what I do going forward, just because it's so important to me, right? I want to make everything I pour out something that's very impactful in my life. So for me, for all of us, I think it's important to know that almost a quarter of all adults, right, 25% of our 100 million adults in this country are affected by some type of mental illness. Whether they get it diagnosed right away, whether it took them decades to get it diagnosed, it affects a quarter of our population, right? And so for us, I think once we start thinking like, hey, it's not about what the mental illness is. It's about understanding that somebody is dealing with something that you have no idea, right? It's not physical, right? It's not a disability that you can see. It's something in their mind, right, that affects them and changes the way they look and act with life. Um, so that helps me, right, and grounds me to help, hey, give everybody grace, right? Because I would want that same grace. And once you have that mindset, right, everything in life that I've talked about to me is a mindset shift, right? Instead of being down every day, right? Let's look every day like it's a gift. And so for me, understanding that every person has something different, but a quarter of our country has a mental illness of some sort, makes you go about your days differently, makes you treat people differently. That's what I want. So every September and every May, I volunteer on a suicide hotline for veterans. I think it's important, and I think it's also important for us veterans to go in the VA once a month if you can, and once a quarter if you can, just every so often to see what it's like for veterans that don't have what you may have. For me, my enlightenment with the VA system was just going to get a prescription and seeing disabled veterans homeless, fighting over the stuff, and it's sad. So for me, that is how I give back, right? And for me, I think it's very important that I pour out into others what I didn't get at the time, right? So I myself am a suicide survivor, right? There's over 30 million of us that survive suicide every year, right? Whether it's an ideation or an attempt, or you actually go through with it, um, it's tough, right? But I will follow through with something I say now every single day, which was, that is my history. Tomorrow will be a mystery of what happens. And today is the gift I was given. And I'm thankful every day that I was given that gift. And so for me, I want everybody to understand that what I want is for us all to give each other grace and kindness, right? Like, it doesn't happen every day. And so for me, when I start talking about like, hey, what would this channel do? Besides rant and get really techy about really technical things, and we'll dive into the Microsofts of the world, we'll dive into the integration platforms of the world, we'll dive into the CrowdStrike issues that happen, we'll dive into the Okta issues that happen, we'll dive into the Microsoft issues where they, of course, happen. We'll dive into licensing, we'll dive into all of it. We'll dive into the side businesses I'm working on. But I really want everybody to know why sometimes it's very hard for me to be extremely consistent. What my wife will tell you, she calls it enhancements, superpower. I get into, really artistic grooves per se. The consistency is lacking, right? Like, it just it goes through waves, my mental illness. And to embrace it, it helps be accountable to something. So hopefully I can ask you guys, as we build this together, to keep me accountable. So I thank you again for letting me share my story and help embracing as we grow our gift for each other and being kind to each other. And the world could just use a little bit more, even if it's just our words, we spread it. So thank you guys. Hopefully you guys are learning something around as we do this. I put a couple different hotlines in the comments below. If you guys need anything, there'll be one right there above me. But please, if you need anything, just reach out. Again, just let me know if you need anything. As always, thank you for being here. If you like the content, it would be great for you to hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be diving into what is Microsoft and why I chose it. Let's get it.